Hey, welcome to the weekly wrap up. Now we're a day late because I've been moving and there's been all types of trouble with Optus. So I've now got 5G internet, apparently, and NBN, apparently, even though they've meant to come twice, are coming on Thursday. So who knows whether they'll turn up, but the 5G has been really good and it seems to be working for streaming. So I'm almost set up, don't have my sign up yet, but welcome everyone. Now, if you want to get some alts up, let me know in the chat. You can put a request in. Everyone in Getting Started in Crypto has been doing that. So I've got a whole heap of alts ready to go. But first, before we get to crypto, a lot of you know that I've got another project. So let me bring, not Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not my project. Coin Runners. So this is my movie. And I've been working on this for about 6 years. So back in 2021, 2022, we had an NFT project. You can still go to coinrunnersmovie.com and buy NFTs if you want to. But we have just signed a A-list actress, and I will be able to announce her very, very soon. It is going to be announced through some Hollywood publications. So that's really exciting. And over the last few weeks, that has really hit like everything running. So we're in discussions with 4 production companies here in Australia. So it's going to be made in Australia. So either in Victoria or in Queensland. We're about to talk to Screen Australia for the completion funding and for more funding because the NFTs are not enough. We're looking to raise $8 to $10 million US for this. And scripts have just gone out to another A-list male actor, and he's amazing. So, and yeah, like massive actor. So there's going to be a whole heap of news coming up for this over the next couple of weeks. So I'm so excited. This has taken so long. I've never given up. It's been working behind the scenes. I've had people give me shit everywhere about this that have bought NFTs. And I really appreciate you guys that you bought NFTs because that has enabled us to get this far. Like the money from the NFTs has gone into hiring a producer, to getting artworks done, to, all of this stuff that is you can see so far. But to get the ball rolling, we, in the last probably year, hired a producer, a Hollywood producer. He got us a director, and that director has been working hard to get these talents. So it's just so exciting. So it looks as if we're going to be filming in early 2026 and all going to plan. The funds all getting raised, everything happening. And yeah, so I'm super excited. It's, been a long time coming, and finally, I've got some news. And not that I can give you the name just yet of that actress, but she's amazing. And she's going to kill this script. Literally, she is just amazing. She won a whole heap of awards for a film that she did a while back. So yeah, I'm super excited. So thank you for listening to my spiel on Coin Runners, and for those wanting to always at me for information. There's going to be a whole heap more coming. So once it goes out in those Hollywood publications, I'll be able to let you know who she is and who the male actor is going to be alongside her. And, as we start locking in production and that sort of stuff, I'll be able to keep you updated with all of that. So it looks like it's going to happen fairly quickly over the next coming year. But this has, and for everyone sort of that has just sort of joined my Twitter or wherever you are and go, okay, well, this is all new. this has been a long time coming. So this is 6 years. So I started this script in 2018. The script was completed at the end of 2019. And then from there, it's been a long time coming. So yeah, I'm super excited. So this is like, hopefully it's not a top signal for crypto, because normally a movie getting made is, but hopefully cryptos reach a top, and then we're going into the bear market while we're making this, and then it will kickstart the next bull run. So it takes a little while for production to happen, and then editing, and then to get it to cinemas. So, and we're aiming to get it to cinemas, and then we are going to run it through the like hopefully Toronto Film Festival or Cannes Film Festival, those sort of huge film festivals. And then maybe you never know, to the Oscars, but fingers crossed. I don't know if it's that good, but the script is won 29 awards. So I'm thinking it's that good, and I'm just going to keep manifesting that. So, okay, now enough about that. Let's get into Bitcoin and see where we're going. And we have on this is a daily. So we've still got like 15 hours before this chart closes. So a long way. We're at the 0.5 on this fib levels. So when we do it Lisabot way, so if we're going right to the bottom here and we're doing traditional fibs, we are sitting in between fibs. So that next fib comes down to the 618 on my Lisabot, and was 105. So likely we're going to see a bounce here first. So, and before we do break down further, I would say we're heading up maybe to 117. The next pivot break point is 112. So we do need to break there. There's the 100 MA retest. Hasn't happened yet. So we can see that we've got a doji forming. I'm just going to remove these off. You can see that we've got a doji forming. This is a daily. Now, we get a better indication if we are bouncing there by going down a time frame. So we'll jump back down to the 12-hour. And we still have that doji. So this closes in about 4 hours on this 12-hour chart. Now, if we're forming this on the 6-hour chart, and that has closed, yep, beautiful. So we're bouncing here, guys, and that next bounce is going to around 112.250. Only a small bounce, maybe a dead cat, but a lot of these charts are showing really, really low sort of stock RSI, and we're not getting sort of a change on the MACD as yet on the higher timeframes. On the 4-hour, we're seeing that change. So that does mean that we're seeing a bounce here, whether that's, huge, but it's looking quite sort of good. We're going to sort of trend around this region. So I've got a few people in the chat. Hi, Sadi. Hello. Hi, Robbie. And hey, KJ. Yes, very exciting news. So I'm really excited, as you can see. So I've been on and off phone calls with lawyers, entertainment lawyers, all day, which is sort of like, it sounds horrible, but it's literally a dream come true. So I'm sort of pinching myself that this is all happening because it's taken so very long. So anyway, you don't care about that. You care about Bitcoin. So that bounce, we do look like we're going up. The 6-hour, 4 hours still looks quite ugly. So I would say this is only a smallish bounce. 6 hours showing that doji. And that does mean that we'll probably go up and retest. So at this region, we've got the 9 EMA. At the 12-hour, we've got the 200 MA. And on the daily, in that same region, we've got the 100. So that does mean that we're testing around that region. So I'd say that's our test point, about 111, 112, before we continue back lower. So looking a bit bleak for BTC, but it was always going to happen that way before the FOMC. We got some beautiful highs for BTC at that 124K. If you go back a year ago to some of these like weekly updates where I kept saying we're going to 124, we got there. So we're literally like, these are my lines forever. So we got to that 124. We're correcting. Now, we could literally still be in this yellow bit and just having a slightly deeper correction. Or if we don't get, so say we get down, we're almost to this bumpy bit here, 106, could go down a little bit lower, 101. Maybe even 98. So when we look at this chart, we're sort of sitting at 101 at the 200 MA, and 98 is a pivot. So there are kind of regions that we could be seeing. Then we've got September. We're coming up. We could even come up and retest near the high. Now, if October's, there's a backtrack, it's like, oops, shouldn't have put that interest rate cut through, then that's when we come back down to that next level. Not ideal, but possible. Or we could just sit here and have a deeper yellow correction. So that's essentially, so if we are going, let's go back to this daily chart and just to this one wave here. So if this is the start of the next impulse, we want to hold basically around the 0.5. So max correction about 99. That's deepest. Like, obviously we want to hold higher, the higher the better, but you know, bouncing back down, coming back down and then having a larger bounce is not all that bad either, because you know, it's just like my bouncing ball theory. The harder you throw it, the higher it bounces. So that's what we want for Bitcoin as well. So that is the perfect sort of wave coming back up, and you know, September we have that run. Now, ETH predominantly has a really bad September. So Bitcoin dominance is on the rise. Now, I do think we've got one more wave down, unless we've got a really truncated wave in here, which is possible because we do have an engulfing candle here. And our MACD and our RSI are showing strong divergences on these. So Bitcoin could be about to take over from ETH. So it is looking that way. Now, ETH is sitting on a pivot. So if this pivot breaks down, we're coming back down to about 4,000, about 4,080. This pivot is a directional pivot. So if this holds, we are heading up to these levels. 5,574 is potentially the next high for Ethereum. So that's, I don't think, unless this last tiny little wave was really, really truncated, I don't think that is. I think this is our wave 1, this is our 3, and we're coming back down for 4, and we've got one more wave left. So it's showing that way on the ETH BTC pair, that potentially we're coming back down to around the 0.04022 mark, which is a retest of that breakout zone. And that, if that holds and ETH holds this region at the moment, that there's going to be firecrackers for ETH. So potentially though, when we look at history, September's like horrible for ETH. So hopefully this is the change for Ethereum and it just takes off. Now, USDT dominance literally needs to hold this 100 MA and not break through. Ideally, we don't want it to get beyond 4.7. That's the max we want it to go in this region. If it starts breaking up that into that higher regions and then up to the 5% mark, it's like that's when Bitcoin's going to be seeing that sort of really red run, and the alts are really going to be bleeding. Now, alts have mostly done a wave 1 or, you know, a 5 waves. So we'll get to those in a minute. So they're looking all like they're correcting at the moment. So we're seeing a lot of red across the market. The total crypto market cap is sitting at the 0.382 fib. And that's a nice pullback in this market. We have broken down on that, so we don't need that there. But potentially we've got an A, a B, and a C, and that could be complete. If this is a fourth wave, then more than likely it'll come back down to that 0.05. Fourth waves love the 0.5 fib, so that is where we're looking. And we did see during the week that bounce on the DXY that I spoke about last week. We went up to the 100, we've rejected, and we're coming back down for this C wave. So that should show what we're seeing sort of over the next little bit. With Bitcoin dominance on the rise, we should hopefully see that sort of change momentum and hold levels. We're going to sort of be stepping stones at the moment until we get that FOMC meeting. So a little bit of red, a little bit of green, a little bit of red. So just be aware it's going to be a choppy market, and this is the time to be dollar cost averaging in spot, not to be getting all of your money and throwing it into leverage trading, because that's where you get chewed up, literally chewed up and spat out, and all your capital is gone and you can't trade anymore. So I would recommend that you start dollar cost averaging into these and, taking little chunks as it goes down, because it is looking like we're still bullish. We've still got a lot of bullish momentum, and I think we're still bullish, and probably until sort of December, January, heading into 2026. So it's looking like we've got another few months left. We've got a late start on this one. So let's jump into alts. Now, I do need to actually tell you that OKX is sponsoring us, and we are here because of them. So if you want to join OKX, they have an epic trading platform, and the latency is so fast, and it's just like you can just get in and out of trades, lots of liquidity, and yeah, I love it. So sign up to OKX, join with 1890266, and you get some bonuses when you come in and some discounts on your trading fees. So they are awesome, and they have heaps of stuff happening at the moment, heaps of new stuff on the trading platform. So make sure you check that out. Okay, so first one is OKB, because everyone's been asking me about this, because it went absolutely berserk when OKX started rolling out all of their updates. Now they've still got heaps more updates to go. So we're sitting at a 382. This looks like it's a fourth wave, so it may come back down to that 142. We're seeing potentially a bounce here first, and we've got a pivot sitting at 199. So there's a possible rejection at 199 coming back down to that 142. So that might be a good place to catch it. And other than that, it's looking really strong. So this is just and we've got a wave high at that point. So 0.05 is probably where it's coming back to. Now this one's for Sadi. So I often miss this, and I got it today because I've put this out earlier in the group so that I can see where everything's going. Now this is a 4 hour. We're looking like we're getting a bounce, especially on the divergence RSI just there, where we've got bullish divergence and we're very low. So maybe in this region, we've got an A, B, C, and that's complete at a 382. Now it could go, like I was saying on the other charts, down to that 0.05, which is 53 on this chart, but we're seeing a change in momentum here. So our pivot for ENA is sitting at 7316. Now, if that breaks, that is super bullish for ENA. If it doesn't, it's coming back down, and it's likely testing that region again, the 61, or coming back down to the 53, to that 05. So it does look like we're getting a bounce in the next sort of 24 hours across the board. So a lot of oversold charts at the moment on the lower timeframes. Link is looking really good. It still hasn't completed this third wave, coming back down for the fourth wave here. So needs to hold 20 to remain bullish, and it looks like it's going to do that. So it's been so bullish at the moment. Lots of news coming out. So one to keep in your long-term bags for sure. Quant QNT. Now this one is mid-fib level, so we're coming back down to 97, getting a small bounce. I'd say we're going to about 107, then coming back down to 97, and then a continuation up from there. Still has a lot of bearish divergence. This is the 4-hour. Most charts are starting to change to bullish. This one's lagging a little bit, which means it's probably one of the later runners. Litecoin. Now, this one's been a really beautiful chart. Broke down, took out all the stops in this region. Everyone hated it because then it took off. And so this is likely 1, 2, 3. Now, if this is the fourth wave, it must hold this region, 106.98, 107. Excuse me. Now, and should bounce here. I'd say we're forming a triangle for Litecoin. It does like a triangle. So either an ABC or an ABCDE, probably a little bit of sideways for a little bit. Excuse me again. Before, and just to hold that 107. That also sees a really strong sort of momentum happening with this. So this E wave will likely be there unless it decides to take all the stops out, and then it's going to be a little bit lower down. So just be aware of that. Waves often, they wick down just to take out all the stops. ARB has broken out, retested. Now this is not looking strong as yet, hasn't broken the pivot, still underneath that, which is at 67. So as soon as this breaks that pivot, it's bullish, but I think it's retesting the 100 and the 200 MA breakout on the daily, which is about 36. So it looks like it's possibly might test that pivot, come back down to 36. AVAX, this is one I was looking at last week, has not completed this Y wave yet. I still think it's got one more wave lower. Pole, this is another one. We're just sitting sideways forever. Now, this is sitting above the median line, which is a really strong sign that this may break out soon. So this is one I've been watching over the last few weeks on the wrap up, and it is really holding in this region. So that's a strong sign that this is about to break out. So do watch that coin. Fartcoin, there we go. Enough said. Following the green squiggles. Has one more squiggle down, and then it should take off. It's starting to change divergence. It's starting to change on the MACD. So these stupid, whatever they do, I don't know what, if this probably does absolutely nothing except for take traders' money every time you think you're winning. So yeah, it looks like it's nearly completed and it's about to go up when you guys probably think it's going down. It'll go up. So it's the 4-hour chart is showing that it's about to change momentum. ACH that we were looking at last week just broke down, took out all the stops, and now is looking pretty good. As long as it holds that support at the bottom, it should take off. Say, another one that we were looking at last week, has come back down, as I said, and retested that 236. Now that is looking good at the 100 MA, and everything's looking really low on those indicators. So looking like we're getting a bounce there as well. Sweet SUI, sideways forever, and has so far held that pivot at 3.1. May test that before it heads up. So just be aware of that. So just ladder some orders in that region. It is looking really primed to go. So we're just sort of trending on a lot of these alts at the moment, just holding these pivots, holding these levels and sitting sideways. So, and that's a really strong sign that the market is about to take off. We might still see some red this week, so don't shoot the messenger. There still is a little bit of red to come, but as we start to come into September, we're going to be changing momentum, especially as we get up to that FOMC. So Talcoin's another one that has been really vigilant on that pivot and really holding it. Every time it gets close, it's like, oh, touch the lava, and off it goes. So that pivot is at 4004514, holding strong. And Solana has missed a wave. Now this technically broke higher. As long as we sort of hold in this region, we should see a fifth wave. If not, we got a really, really truncated wave. We saw that on BTC, so that may have happened on Solana. This sort of jumbled up mess here, when I go back down to an hourly, literally could be like the tiniest little fifth wave here, because when we sort of pad that out, we've kind of got 5 waves, kind of, sort of. I'd count it, but you may not. So I'd say we're coming up, looks as if we might break through. This is the hourly, so we've got a minor pullback coming. When we go up to the 4 hourly, we want to be breaking through this region and heading up to about 196. So ideally, the pivot here is about 200 for Solana. So if we can get to 200 and then come back down and hold that low, that is super bullish for Solana and means we are heading into September really green. So fingers crossed that J Powell, goes out with a bang and cuts the interest rates and the whole market goes crazy and we've got a green end to the year. That would be just perfect. So yeah, so keep an eye on my updates for coin runners, because I'm super excited, and it's probably the most excited I've been for ages, apart from being tired from moving and unpacking like 200 boxes. I've still got like 15 boxes to go. It's never ending. My fairy godmother didn't come and unpack them, unfortunately, but it's looking good. So yeah, market is going to be sort of a bit volatile until the FOMC, but we're looking good, looking really good. So yeah, thank you all for joining me, and I will be back on Monday next week, now that I'm all set up, and hopefully with a sign behind me saying getting started in crypto. Now, if you're not inside getting started in crypto, make sure you join, and we would love to see you in there, and you can request charts in the chat anytime you want, and we will get those for you. And also, don't forget, we've got Femex free signals. So head to gettingstartedincrypto.com and head to Femex free signals. Join Femex with our referral code and fill out the form, and we will get you free scalp signals. So yeah, and there we go. That's it for today, and I will see you every day on X. If you want some psychology stuff, come and join me on TikTok, because that is going off and I'm loving putting those up there. I do lots of psychology, manifesting, why things happen, controlling your emotions, which is important for the market. So a lot of the trading ones I will put up, but if you want just sort of general psychology stuff, make sure you head across over there. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and I will catch you on all the socials and inside Getting Started in Crypto, and back here Monday, 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.